Hi guys, there's no limit to what Reform UK will do. There's no bottom of the barrel for them. So Richard Tice appeared on GB News where he was attacking the Prime Minister on a day when people should be coming together, people should be looking towards something positive for the future. No, instead he was attacking the Prime Minister and promoting the idea that Donald Trump and Donald Trump alone is responsible for the ceasefire deal. It's pretty disgusting stuff. Have a look.
We were just talking about Donald Trump there and what credit he should get for what is coming about between Israel and Gaza. Would you give him credit?
110% total credit. I was in Israel just 2 weeks ago. I met President Herzog. I met Foreign Minister Saar. Let me tell you, the whole of Israel, from the top of government to everybody, are so furious with Keir Starmer, with this Labour government.
What evidence do you have to back up that claim? Everyone is angry with Keir Starmer. Even people who've never heard of Keir Starmer, people who've never been to the United Kingdom, are angry with Keir Starmer. Other countries around, is this in relation to recognition of a Palestinian state? Because there are Israelis who recognize the need for a Palestinian state. There are Israelis who are on the same side as Keir Starmer here and the international community. But to come out and say, look, if he had said, the Israeli government are angry with Keir Starmer, okay, I could go with that. But everyone in Israel is angry with Keir Starmer, even people who've never heard his name before. Ridiculous. And instead of actually being positive and saying, look, we don't know the role Keir Starmer played in this, but it's important that we look to what's positive here. The conflict is coming to an end. Perhaps there's going to be a proper peace deal. The Palestinians will be able to live in peace next to the Israelis, and the Israelis will be able to live in peace next to the Palestinians. Isn't this what he should be saying, instead of taking cheap shots at the Prime Minister? And of course, promoting the idea that Donald Trump alone is responsible for this ceasefire, when, as I've pointed out in another video, that's not the case.
But for abandoning and betraying Israel in their hour of need. And frankly, for our Prime Minister to go to that signing ceremony, he's literally gate crashing Donald Trump's success.
Donald Trump's success. What about the Qataris? What about the other Arab nations? Do they not deserve some credit too? The ones who are pushing Hamas to sign an agreement? The ones who are facilitating negotiations between the Israelis and the Palestinians? Yeah, do they not deserve any credit? No, it's all down to Donald Trump, who claimed that he'd be able to resolve all of these things in 5 minutes, and it's now many months into his administration.
It's just ridiculous. And we've now had confirmation from the American administration that actually recognizing a state of Palestine hindered the ceasefire and peace negotiations.
Which is a pile of crap, because we're talking about the US ambassador to Israel, a guy called Mike Huckabee, who's a fundamentalist Christian who believes in end times. I've covered him before. He's a complete and utter lunatic. And of course, he wants the idea of a greater Israel where it includes parts of Jordan. Why? Because he believes that there's going to be some great war which will result in Jesus Christ returning for a second time. I'm not paraphrasing here. This is exactly what this guy believes. So he's not exactly a reliable source to look at within the US administration.
We've seen Air Force One coming into to land in Tel Aviv here, just as you speak, Richard. So the president will be on the ground shortly, doing what he's going to do in Israel.
Yeah, it's going to be meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu and then meeting with hostage families a little bit later on before addressing Israeli Parliament. So we'll bring that all to you on GB News.
Okay, there was an opportunity for Richard Tice to be a decent human being, but of course that's not possible when it comes to Richard Tice. He's not a decent human being. He could have at least said, look, I don't know the role the Prime Minister had in this. I don't know the role the British government had. Look, let's put aside politics for today and celebrate this end of the conflict. But no, cheap shots against the Prime Minister, suggesting that he's gate crashing, suggesting that it's all down to Donald Trump. I have to ask this question. Does Reform UK and Richard Tice and Nigel Farage have more admiration for the United States than they do for their own country. You know, if they love Trump's America so much, why don't they go there? They keep talking about people, well, if you don't respect British values, you should just leave. Well, they don't seem to care about Britain so much. They care more about the United States run by Donald Trump. Maybe they should emigrate, become refugees. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. I'll see you in the next video.